Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I want to do something with picture transfer on an acrylic pour. Christmas coming up, it's still a bit time, but I want to do a present for my little niece, which is really crazy about her dog. So for her room I want to make a bigger pour and put the doggy on it. Now I watched, if you're interested in this topic, eventually you too already, multiple videos, but I had some open questions. So I want to try some things that I wondered and share it with you and hope we can find some conclusions or simply have a look how it turns out. Okay, so this is a picture I made a copy in the copy shop. That's already good enough because that is laser print. So it's a cutie black and white. Now, my original question was, yeah, if this is black and white on a dark pour, how much do I gonna see? Plus, this is a little lighter, but this one is varnished. Will both of them come out the same or not? And what I'm gonna try for this one is that I'm gonna put a very thin layer of transparent white under it and see if it gives a little bit more depth to the black and white on a dark background. In general, I'm going to use PVAC to put it on here at the end, and tomorrow I can finish it by rubbing off the back with water. So let's give it a go. Okay, so here I did put a little layer of transparent white, which is zinc white, and yeah, it's just if that would be a final piece, I would of course do it more precise, very thin layer, and I'm gonna leave that dry now and proceed with gluing this one on there. Okay, it's on here now. As it turns out, you need more glue than I expected, and perhaps it's better to do it on a different surface than the painting itself. Keep in mind the painting itself is varnished, so we're going to see how that turns out. I turned it around. Eventually I should have copied it again because now it's not mirrored. And yeah, the thing you should make sure is that you have no glue on the back side, and that it's really no air bubbles under it. So go from the inside to the outside and eventually use something to push it down really well. So I'm gonna clean this up a little bit here and put it to the side. Hi everyone and welcome back. So it's next day and it's all dry. You can see here I already started. Basically you just take a little bit of water on your finger and start rubbing it on the back of the paper. It means you're getting rid of the white layer and just leaving the ink on the pour. Here you can see that it's absolutely no see-through, but if you start slightly rubbing you get little pieces loose. And basically that's how you do it. Don't make it really wet, because then you start ripping it off and you will also rip off the ink. Here you see already, I can see a bit of the nose, and I just gonna keep rubbing it like that. In between you don't always need to add more water, just when you feel that it's getting completely dry and you rip off pieces and not rolling off pieces. Yeah, so I'm gonna go on with this now and show you soon. Okay, so on both paintings I got halfway, and you can already see that there's something seriously wrong. When I said I used PVA, I actually used PVAC, and that is bookbinder's glue. So I think it could be an issue of that. I have seen that with Mod Podge, but perhaps it's not the same thing. Here with the white underneath, it all looked good for a while, but at some point suddenly it is like rubber. It rolled off like rubber, and it's really gooey, and I can see it's black underneath, so it's really the dark pigments. So if I would rub it off, I can't do it because it's gooey, but you also can also see that it would take all the ink with it, so there's nothing left. So I said, okay, perhaps I didn't do it good enough and too much water, or because of the white background. And here I did it again more careful, just one part, and I can see lacquer coming out, there was an eye, etc. And I already here rubbed off too deep, so there's only the canvas, but I thought, okay, perhaps that's the part where it is white, who knows. But I definitely could see her ear and her nose, but again, when I reached the layer where you really start to getting rid of the last thin layer of paper, it started to be sticky again. So I can't imagine that the glue actually like that is not dry, because it was more than even a complete night, and I have seen people do it after 4 hours, and I don't think I rubbed it that hard, and I can feel it. It's not okay. So this did not work, and I will need to try something else, and that's probably going to be varnish. Hello everyone, and welcome back. After the disaster with the bookbinder's glue, and I really don't know if it's only because it's a different type of glue, because I had it dry really long, I did the same thing with varnish. It was a simple water-based transparent varnish, and I let it dry up eventually like 12 hours or something like that. Then I felt pretty confident that it should be on there. I did the same thing that I showed you, so a little bit of water and starting rubbing it, and this is way more difficult than I thought and than it looks like in other videos, so don't give up. I have to admit that I even at one point, when the first layer was off, used a little sponge. Of course you cannot press down hard, just very tiny bit that it gets loose, and because otherwise you might still smudge the image. And another thing I wanted to show you is now how it looked with a little bit of white that I had as a transparent background. And I think that is not a too bad plan to do. Of course, you should do it more careful than here. I have also white where it shouldn't be. But you can see that the face is a little bit more light and coming away in front from the dark background. So I'm going to finish this, and I think this is going to work out. And then I'm going to do a nice pour for my niece and give this to her as a present. I think you've seen the concept. So varnish works, and it is a good idea if you want to have it more popping to put some white paint under it. You can use a little sponge as a trick thing. And you will, as always, find finished paintings, products on my Facebook or Instagram. Have a look at the description for all the links, and I hope to see you back soon.